Dear students, today I am taking your class of carbon and its compounds. So let's begin. Food, clothes, medicines, books or many other things that you have or you know all are based on the versatile element carbon. Earth's crust has only 0.02% carbon in the form of minerals and atmosphere has 0.03% of carbon dioxide. Since these compounds are largely non-conductors of electricity, we can conclude that the bonding in these compounds does not give rise to any ions. Organic compounds, if actually see, these compounds are very initially extracted from the natural substances, and it was thought that these carbon compounds or organic compounds could only be formed within a living system. It was postulated that a vital force was necessary for their synthesis. But Friedrich Wöhler disapproved this in 1828 by preparing urea from ammonium cyanate. But carbon compounds, except for carbides, oxides of carbon, carbonate and hydrogen carbonate salts, continue to be studied under the organic chemistry. Now before that we can see allotropes of carbon. The phenomena in which the element exists in two or more different physical states with similar chemical properties are called allotropy. Carbon has 5 but 3 main allotropes will be discussed here. Diamond. This is carbon. An atom is bonded to 4 other atoms of carbon forming 3-dimensional structure. It is the hardest substance and an insulator. It is used for drilling rocks, cutting rocks, and it is also used for making jewelry. Second is the graphite. In this, each carbon atom is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms. It is good conductor of electricity and used as a lubricant. Third one is the Buckminster fullerenes. It is an allotrope of the carbon containing cluster of carbon 60 atoms joined together to form spherical molecules. It is dark solid at room temperature. As I told you, allotropes of carbon are 5, but 3 main can be studied. One is the graphene, second is nanotube, third is fullerenes, which we have studied, diamond and graphite. Now there is a ionic bonding, and in that ionic bonding, the bond energy is 600 to 1500 kilojoule per mole. Melting and boiling points are high because the bonding is strong. Electrical conductivity is very good. Hardness, they are very hard but brittle at the same time, and due to this brittleness, whenever you apply some force, it will break into pieces. You can see here the sodium. Sodium has 1 electron in the outermost orbit that is given out, and this form as sodium plus charge, and the chlorine takes this 1 electron and its outermost orbit becomes octet, and it is here, it is negative in color or negative in charge. Both positive and negative attract to each other with strong electrostate of force, and that's why these bonds are very strong. The similar other ionic bonds can be formed. Other side, the covalent bond. The atomic number of carbon is 6. Its electronic configuration is 2,4. it requires 4 electrons to achieve the inert gas electronic configuration. But carbon cannot get these 4 electrons or cannot give 4 electrons. It could gain 4 electrons from carbon and forming C4 minus cation, but you see it would be difficult for the nucleus with 6 protons to hold on the 10 electrons. On other side, there will be, if it could lose 4 electrons, then it will form C plus 4 cation, but it requires a large amount of energy to remove 4 electrons. That's why carbon never gives C4 plus or C4 minus. Therefore, carbon overcomes this problem by sharing electrons with other carbon atoms or with the atoms of other element. The bond formed by the mutual sharing of electron pairs between the two atoms in a molecule is known as covalent bond, and carbon form covalent bonds. This is the tetrahedron structure. One carbon is in the center and 4 others are on 4 corners with the angle 109.5 degree. These are the angles between each carbon and hydrogen. Hydrogen will attach with each carbon, or you can say in place of this hydrogen we can put 4, as in the case of diamond, that will become tetrahedron. So this is simple structure. 4 faces are shown here and each corner is occupied by hydrogen, and this is at the center carbon. So this will form in this way geometrical regular electron dot structure of methane. Now, types of covalent bonds. Single covalent bond or types of covalent bond. Single covalent bond, when a single pair of electrons are shared between the two atoms in a molecule. For example, in Fe2, Cl2, here you can see in the case of structure of ethane, 2 carbons are there and 1 pair of electron is being shared. So shared pair of electrons are here also, and at the center between the carbon and between the carbon and hydrogen. So you can see in this picture 2 carbons, they are sharing electrons, and this way when they are sharing only 1 pair of electron, then single bond is formed, and in this way the bond formation of single occurs. Now, double covalent bond. Here you can see the electrons are shared double. 2 pairs of electrons are being shared. 2 pairs of electrons are being shared. Therefore, carbon forms double bond with oxygen. Carbon double bond. This is your double covalent bond. Triple bond, similarly, as you have seen earlier, 3 electrons can be shared between them, 3 electrons. So between 2 nitrogen, 3 electrons are shared and 3 bonds are formed. Electron dot structure is mostly asked in your examination, that you can show in the case of hydrogen atom. Now, formation of methane. Methane is similarly here, 1 carbon is at the center and it is attached with the 4 hydrogen by sharing of 1 electron, and here it is carbon dioxide sharing of 2 pairs of electrons, so double bond is formed. Here it is H2S, 1s sharing 1 electron with the hydrogen and forming H2S, hydrogen sulfide. Physical property of organic compounds. Most organic compounds have low boiling and melting points due to the weak force of attraction. That is the force, intermolecular force of attraction between these molecules. Most carbon compounds are poor conductors of electricity due to the absence of free electrons and free ions. So you can see in this table, acetic acid has melting point 290 Kelvin and boiling point 391. Chloroform 209, boiling point 334. Ethanol and methane you can see from the table. Now we will study versatile nature of carbon. Versatile existence of such a large number of organic compounds due to the following nature of carbon: catenation and tetravalent nature. Two things will be discussed. Catenation, the self-linking property of an element, mainly carbon atom, through covalent bonds to form long straight chain, branched chain, and you can see here this is the straight chain. These three are straight chain, this is the branched chain, and these two are also branched chain. So if such a variety of compounds will be there, then it will have all these compounds are structurally different, but their physical and chemical properties are same. Similarly, you can see here there are rings. Cyclohexane ring is formed, and cyclobutane, and here cycloethane, ethanol. This is chloro. One hydrogen is replaced here and chlorine is attached. This is OH is attached here, and this is oxygen is attached, oxygen OH group is attached. So that's why it is called ethanol. This is called ethanol, and this is called chloroethane. Now we'll study hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are of three kinds: saturated, unsaturated, and aromatic. Hydrocarbons which are saturated have the general formula CnH2n plus 2. CnH2n plus 2. Here this is called alkanes. This is your alkenes, CnH2n, and this is unsaturated. Unsaturated is further divided into two: alkynes and alkenes. Formula CnH2n, formula here CnH2n minus 2, and others are aromatic hydrocarbon. They gives the special characteristic smell like the benzene. Now saturated hydrocarbons, CnH2n plus 2. Here n you can put any natural number, and you will find that such compounds which have no place to form any other bond, so they are saturated. No more hydrogen or any monovalent can be combined with them, so they are saturated. On the other hand, if we see, there are of two types. One is the double bond formation alkenes, and another is the triple bond formation alkene, alkyne. You can understand easily. They have here, this bond will break and two new bonds can be formed, and in this way they can attach with two new monovalent. Here in this case one bond will break and will give you opportunity to combine with the monovalent atoms. Now similarly, unsaturated hydrocarbons, alkynes, CnH2n minus 2, and these are also of three bond formation. 3 pairs is here. This is also 3 pair, and this is also 3 pair. Means between these two carbon, 3 pairs of electrons are being shared, and they form the ethine, propyne, and butane. Now electron dot structure of hydrocarbon. You can see in the picture, the electron dot can be shown how many electrons one element is sharing with the other element. Here the carbon is sharing one electron with the 4 others hydrogens, so it is forming methane. And in this case, here 2 carbons are sharing 1 electron pair, and other carbon has the 3 here free electrons, so they can share with 3 hydrogen, forming the ethane. Now isomerism is also one of the important property that the carbon exists number of compounds. Isomerism, compounds having the same molecular formula but different structural formula and properties are known as isomers. Compounds having the same molecular formula but different structural formula. You can see here, this is C5H12 pentane. One pentane can be shown in this way, long chain N-pentane. Here this can also be shown in this way, one methyl group is attached in the second carbon. This is also the same, 2-methyl butane, although long chain will be taken for the nomination, but here it is methyl at 2 place, so 2-methyl butane. Actually it has a 5 carbon and 12 hydrogen. Similarly here 2 methyl groups are attached to the second carbon. So 2,2-dimethyl propane, long chain is the 3rd propanes, but the molecular formula is same, C5H12. Similarly here in the butane, this is N-butane and this is isobutane. One methyl is attached to the second carbon atom. Now isomers of hexane, they are hexane, long chain, and hexane we can say the methyl is attached with the second carbon, so 2-methyl pentane. This can also, methyl group can be attached with the third carbon, so 1-methyl, that is at the 3-methyl 1, 2, 3, 4 butane. 3-methyl pentane, you can see 3-methyl pentane. Actually I forget to show it. Number of carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, but we will take 5 in consideration here in this case. So it is 3-methyl pentane. The fourth one is here, the second 2 methyl groups are 2,2-dimethyl and then long chain is 4, so butane. Here it is 2,3. This one is at 2 and another is 3, 2,3-dimethyl pentane. Now homologous series. Series of organic compounds having the same functional group and chemical properties and successive members differ by CH2 unit or 14 mass units are known as homologous series. Alkane CnH2n plus 2, alkene CnH2n, alkyne CnH2n minus 2, alcohol CnH2n plus 1 and OH, ketone CnH2n plus 1, CO CnH2n plus 1. Here halohexane, alkane CnH2n plus 1 and X stands for the halogen chlorine, fluorine, bromine, iodine, and it is aldehyde CnH2n plus 1 CHO group, and carboxylic acid CnH2n plus 1 COOH. This carboxylic group gives the acidic property to the compound. Here it is aldehyde group. This is the halogen groups. Chlorine may be there, bromine may be there, iodine may be there. This is ketonic group CO, and this is OH alcohol group, and here it is 3 carbon, so this is alkyne. It is 3 bonds and 2 bonding between the carbon double bond, so it is alkene. Here carbon having the 3 bonds, so alkyne. Carbon having only 1 bond, this is alkene. Characteristics of homologous series. The successive members of homologous series differ by CH2 unit or 14 mass unit. Members of given homologous series have the same functional group all the members of the homologous series show similar chemical properties. All the members of a given homologous series have the same functional group. All the members of a series show similar chemical properties. The members of a homologous series show gradation in the physical properties. Now, nomenclature, how to give the name to a particular compound. International Union of Pure and Applied Chemists, IUPAC, has decided, first of all, you identify the number of carbon atoms in it. If it is 1, then we'll say meth. If it is 2, we can say eth. If it is 3, prop. 4, but. 5, pent. 6, hex. 7th, heptane. 8th, octane. 9, neonane. And 10, duodane. And then secondly, if the carbon chain is unsaturated, then the final ANE in the name of the carbon chain is substituted by ENE or YNE. For example, a 3-carbon chain with a double bond would be called propene, and triple carbon bond, it would be called propyne. Now, nomenclature is continued. In case a functional group is present, it is indicated in the name of compound with either as a prefix or suffix. If the name of the formula group is to be given as a suffix, then name of the carbon chain is modified by deleting final E and adding the appropriate suffix. For example, a 3-carbon chain with a ketone group would be named in the following manner. E propane, E will replaced by ONE and it will called propanone. Find the position of functional group, and if it is a shortest to reach from the beginning or from the end, that is according, just you see in this case here number of carbons are 6, so one number can be given 1, 2, 3, 4 and another from the this side, and here the functional group OH, you find the OH is present here. OH is at 4 number and OH is also at 3 number. So shortest is the 3. So its name will be given 3-hexanol. Chemical properties of carbon compounds. The important chemical properties are combustion. All the carbon compounds combined with oxygen to give carbon dioxide, water and heat. And again here the carbon dioxide, water and heat means on combustion it will produce carbon dioxide and heat. And if it is unsaturated, then there will be a yellow smoky flame, and blue flame will be for those who has complete combustion, means gas. A kerosene stove used at home has inlet for air. Maximum air is supplied to burn the fuel, then it will give the blue flame. As you can see in your kitchen, your stove which is connected with the hexane cylinder, LPG cylinder or pipeline cylinder gas, it will give the blue color. Due to the presence of small amount of nitrogen and sulfur, coal and petroleum produces carbon dioxide and oxides of nitrogen and sulfur, which are major pollutant. Now, why do substances burn with a or without a flame? Have you ever observed either a coal or a wood fire? If not, the next time you get a chance, take close note of what happens when the wood or coal starts to burn. However, you will observe the coal or charcoal in an angichi sometimes just glow red and gives out heat without a flame. This is because a flame is only produced when gaseous substances burn. When wood or charcoal is ignited, the volatile substance present vaporize and burn with a flame. In the beginning, a luminous flame is seen when the atoms of gaseous substances are heated and start to glow. The color produced by each element is a characteristic property of that element. You have seen that in complete combustion gives soot, which is carbon. On the basis what will you attribute the yellow color of a candle? Because in the candle it is in complete combustion and some unburned carbon comes out. That's why the flame becomes yellow color. Second property is oxidation. Oxidation of ethanol in presence of oxidizing agent gives ethanoic acid. CH3, CH2, OH plus oxygen. Oxygen is from alkaline KMnO4 or acidified K2Cr2O7. This is called nascent oxygen. It's combined with alcohol and gives you the acid CH3COOH. Oxidizing agent. Some substances are capable of adding oxygen to others are known as oxidizing agent. Alkaline KMnO4, acidified K2Cr2O7, KMnO4 potassium permanganate and K2Cr2O7 potassium dichromate. Addition reaction. This is very familiar here. Nickel catalyst and hydrogen gas is passed to the unsaturated hydrocarbon. It becomes saturated and hydrogen is added to after breaking this double bond. So this is the addition reaction and this is called hydrogenation because hydrogen is being added to this. So this is hydrogenation. In this way we can prepare ghee, dalda, as you have seen Rath Banaspati in the present time, from the coconut oil which has not a good taste. Hydrogen is passed in the presence of nickel and palladium as a catalyst, platinum, palladium, nickel as a catalyst, and it converted into a granule type of sweet smelling ghee, and that is very famous, which we use in most of the party and at home. Substitution reaction, replacement of, here you see there are 4 hydrogen, 1 chlorine will replace 1 hydrogen, will form chloromethane, then form HCl, and in this way subsequently these 2 hydrogen will remain from here C2Cl2, 1 hydrogen will remain, then CH, Cl3, and that hydrogen is also removed, then it will become CCl4, carbon tetrachloride. Some important carbon compounds, and that is ethanol, which you must learn. Ethyl alcohol. Its physical properties: it is colorless, inflammable liquid at room temperature. It is miscible with water in all proportions. It has no effect on the litmus paper and it is a good solvent. Chemical properties: combustion. Chemical property of ethanol. Combustion, you know, it will give carbon dioxide and water. It is used in the laboratory in your burner just to heat some experiments. Reaction with sodium. Sodium gives sodium ethoxide. Sodium ethoxide and hydrogen gas. Alcohols react with sodium, leading to the evolution of hydrogen with ethanol. The other product are sodium ethoxide. Reaction with concentrate H2SO4. This is dehydration type of reaction, and CH2 will form and water will be given out. So you can understand dehydrating agent is that substance which remove water from the reaction. Oxidation. Similar as we have discussed, this O is coming from alkaline KMnO4 or acidified K2Cr2O7 and it gives acid. Esterification, the final reaction, ethanoic acid and ethanol in the presence of concentrate H2SO4, it gives a compound which is called ester. Ester is the sweet smelling. This is ester. Here you see CH3COOH. This is from the acid portion and this H is removed and OH combines with this to give the water, and then this portion will attach with the acidic form CH2CH3. So this ester is formed. Uses of ester, it is an active ingredient of all alcoholic drinks. It is also used in medicines such as tincture iodine, cough syrup and many tonics. For synthesis of industrial methylated spirit, ethanol burns to give carbon dioxide and water and can be used as a fuel, as solvent, as anti-freezing in automobiles. In cold countries, the petrol becomes solid due to the temperature. It does not become solid. The ethanol is mixed with it. It remains as a liquid so that car can be started any time. So denature alcohol to prevent them in use of ethanol produced for the industrial use. It is made unfit for drinking by adding poisonous substances like methanol. Dyes are also added so that the person working in the labs or handling this may not take it as a drinking purpose. You know the harmful effects of drinking alcoholic. Consumption of small quantities of dilute ethanol causes drunkenness. Short-term use of alcohol causes slurred speech, drowsiness, vomiting and headache. Long-term consumption of alcohol leads to many health problems such as alcohol poisoning, liver disease, nerve damages and permanent damage of brain. It tends to slow metabolic process and to depress the central nervous system. This results in lack of coordination, mental confusion, drowsiness, lowering of the normal inhibition and finally stupor. The individual may feel relaxed but does not realize that his sense of judgment, sense of timing and muscular coordination have been seriously impaired. Now ethanoic acid, second compound we have to study. Ethanoic acid is sometimes called acetic acid and belongs to the group of acids called carboxylic acid. 5 to 8% of solution of acetic acid in water is well known in our home and domestic uses. Vinegar and is used widely preservative in pickles. Melting point of pure methanoic acid is 290 Kelvin, that is 70 degree, and hence is often freezes during the winter in cold climates. This gave rise to its name glacial acetic acid. In cold countries it becomes solid, so that's why it is called the glacial acetic acid. Physical properties: it has an acidic nature, it turns blue litmus red, it is sour in taste. Ethanoic acid is an odorless and highly smelling liquid. Its melting point is 290 Kelvin. We study the chemical properties. First, esterification, as we have studied in the alcohol. Ethanoic acid is mixed with small amount of ethanol in the presence of acid and it changes into ester. This is called the esterifications. Esters are sweet smelling substance and its uses are used in making perfumes and as flavoring agents. These are also used to make surfactants such as soap and detergent. Surfactants surfactants. Some esters can be made into polymers called polyesters. Now saponification, esters react in the presence of an acid or a base to give back the alcohol and carboxylic acid. This reaction is known as saponification because esters are used in preparation of soaps. Equation for this is ester CH3COO C2H5 in the presence of sodium hydroxide gives ethanol and ethanoic acid. Reaction with base like sodium hydroxide and CH3COS gives sodium acetate or water. Reaction with carbonates and hydrogen carbonates, this is sodium carbonate Na2CO3, it gives the sodium acetate. With sodium bicarbonate it also gives sodium acetate, water and carbon dioxide. Reaction with base sodium hydroxide, again it is repeated reaction here, so sorry for that. Now soap or sodium salts of long chain fatty acids is called soap. General formula is RCOONA. Detergent, ammonium and sulfonate salts of long chain fatty acids are called detergents. Example CH3 CH2 bracket close 11 C6H4 SO3 Na. Hard and soft water that does not produce lather with soap rarely is called hard water, and which produces lather with soap is called soft water. Soaps and detergents difference, these are sodium or potassium salt. Soaps are sodium and potassium salts, whereas the detergents are ammonium and sulfonate salts of long chain fatty acids. Ionic properties of soap HCOO minus Na that is formed here. Ionic part of the detergent is OSO3Na. Now their efficiency decreases in hard water, their efficiency unaffected in hot water. Soaps are biodegradable whereas detergents are non-biodegradable. Now advantages of detergents. The main advantage of detergents over soap is that soaps cannot be used in hard water for washing because hard water reacts with soap to form curdy white precipitate called scum. Thus in hard water soap does not give lather while detergent does. Cleansing action is very important and simple. You can see in figure first the structure of soap or detergent. Long chain is there, hydrocarbon, and another is the charged part. The charged part get inserted into the water and the other hydrocarbon parts go into the grease or dirt and form a radial. First the oil droplet is there. This is the stearate ions and they will start forming the radial formation, and in this way they form the radial arrangement. All the negative charges are around it and all the hydrocarbons are inside, and this is the negative positive charge, sodium is around it, and here it is the hydrocarbon in the radial oil droplets, and it will take out the, this is the final formation. This whole black is shown as a dirt or the grease portion, and they are the radial arrangement of micelles. They will take out all these dirt, breaking into pieces when we agitate cloth with the water. This is end of my slide and I hope you understand it. Thank you very much.